Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So if you recall the story of the 6-month-old baby who at a daycare um, was died after a 10-year-old girl, I believe she's 10 years old, who's a foster child who lives, of the parents who it's an in-home daycare. She dropped the baby accidentally and then panicked when he began to scream, and she stomped on his head. Eventually, the baby died, and two days later, and I believe it was reported there were footprints on the baby's head. She later had confessed this to the police. This is in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and the father has actually spoken to, I believe it's ABC7. I guess that's the local affiliate in Chippewa Falls of ABC, about it. And it's obviously it's just absolutely tragic. But the baby didn't die immediately. It died, I think, 2 days later. And initially, it's just strange. The father had just by chance been arriving at the daycare just as the ambulance was I believe leaving or in the process of leaving with the child. And and I believe that's just a coincidence. He followed the ambulance, not even knowing the status of his son, and he later learned it. And initially, I think they thought the boy was going to live. He was later, after the first being brought to the hospital, he was airlifted to another hospital. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. So, but his father has spoken to ABC7, and he because many people, because it's a 10-year-old girl who doesn't fully understand the consequences, and she just freaked out and panicked, um, doing the unthinkable, of stomping on his head to get him to stop crying. He believes she belonged in shackles, and sees her not as a 10-year-old girl, but as the person who killed his son, and believes she's a criminal. She's right now is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, and I believe because of state law in Wisconsin, she initially has to be charged as an adult, and I think that's just absolutely required. I think her next court appearance. I'll play the interview of the father in a sec here. Um, the uh, the child is due to appear in court on December 11th, but I don't know if that's the same court that has initially charged her, or if this has been moved to family court, where they will determine whether she should be charged as a juvenile. I'm not real sure, and it doesn't say here. So, I mean, mostly I've looked at a couple different articles. They just are pulling from the ABC7, the interview with the father, and even some of the details of that are not totally clear. But here's what he had to say, or at least a portion of it.
No fussing. He was happy smiles all the time.
This is how Jackson's father, Nate Lytle.
Jackson's not going to make it. And when I remember I broke down up there pretty bad. Yeah, it really hit hard.
On the evening of November 1st, his
As a 10-year-old girl, I seen it as
killer.
As opposed to seeing it as a 10-year-old girl, I seen it as the person who killed my son. And she, in my opinion, deserved to be in shackles or handcuffs. She's a criminal.
He watched the girl sob as she was led away in handcuffs with one goal in mind, to make her see him.
I'm convinced I did. And I know that she knows that she did too, because it was a split second, and then she buried her head back into her dad's shoulder.
His time with his son was cut even shorter because of delays in the child custody process.
They don't fully explain the child custody issue he had for the first 3 months of the 6-month-old baby, Jackson Nadel. His father's Nate Nadel. He wasn't with his son. I guess I don't know if he had a custody battle with the mother or what. So that was another element of the story. It's just absolutely horrible. So, all right, well, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.